Hi, this is Chef Rick again, and we're doing a virtual cooking class for Temple Parks and Recreation. Today we're going to do Asian quinoa meatballs, but we're going to use turkey. And you might say quinoa, it's like, what is that? Quinoa is an ancient grain from South America. It grows at very high altitudes. It's one of the few grains that has a complete protein in it. It's very tasty. You can treat it just like rice, but it's very, very good for you. So to get started here, we've got some turkey in our bowl, and today we've chosen some quinoa, and I've got a variegated. There's red, and there's yellow, and there's white, and this is cooked, real easy to cook. I just put it in some boiling water, brought it up to the simmer, and added the quinoa, stirred it up, put a lid on it, let it come back to the simmer, and then I turn it off with the lid on. And then it's done. So we're going to put that in here. Okay, but that's already cooked. So, and then we need some green onions. So I'm going to slice these. And I like to use all the way from the bottom to the top. Okay, we're going to pull a few pieces out that are connected. Put those over here. So we've got our quinoa and turkey, and then we've got the green onions that are in there. Next thing we're going to have is some garlic. And instead of mincing it, I'm just going to use my trusty old garlic press. Pop that in there. Scrape off the bottom. Get all that in there. And we got 3 cloves of garlic that we're going to do. Put another one in. Press that in. Lots of garlic. This is it's an Asian quinoa meatballs. Okay? Real simple, real quick. You can use these as a appetizer. You can use them as a main course. Use them on top of a stir fry. Real easy. We got a little sauce that's going with them. Okay? So that's that. Then we've got an egg. And we've got some toasted sesame. And we've got some sriracha and some sweet chili or toasted sesame oil for a little spice. And if you want to spice it up a little more, you can add some more sriracha. The nice thing about these, you can make these ahead of time, a little soy sauce. Okay. And then you can put them in the freezer, bake them, put them in the freezer, and they're all ready for you. So we're going to add just a touch of salt, because this has got soy sauce in it, and there's soy sauce in the sauce. You want to be really careful by not over salting it. So get a look at this, show this to you. That's what our mixture looks like. Now we're going to work that up. When I'm doing this, I like to have some gloves to work this up. Okay. But before I start working up, before I get all messy, I'm going to do one more little side lesson here for you. I've got a whole bunch of these different things. These people commonly refer to as ice cream scoops. Technically, they're not an ice cream scoop, they're a disher. When you go to buy them, like in the restaurant supply, you'll want a disher. And they go even larger than this, and they go smaller than this. But these are sized. On this particular kind, what you'll find in this little bowl sweep, you'll see a little number. That number corresponds to a portion. This one happens to be an 8, and this is all in regards to how many scoops you can get out of a quart. So if you do the math, this number 8 scoop is 1/2 cup. And all the way down to, people would say like a cookie scoop, this is a 70. You got 24s, 16s, 12s, 20s, all sorts of ones. But that's just how many scoops there are to a quart. But when you're doing cookies or doing meatballs, it's really easy to use one of these because then everyone's the same thing. Okay? So we've got our mixture here. I'm going to push my sleeve up a little more, and we're going to mix this up. And if you wanted to use hamburger, you wanted to use pork or a mixture of turkey, pork, veal, beef, you could do that. This is just a little more healthy. The one thing in here, the toasted sesame oil, is very, very pungent. You can really smell that. Really is good. This is a lot leaner, so okay. We've got that in there. Now I'm going to take this glove off. And I've got a pan that is already prepped. I've sprayed it with food release, and we preheated our oven to 400 degrees. So you can make these small, you can make these big. You could even put this in if you want to do homemade wontons. Buy some wonton skins, you can make your own wonton soup. Same kind of thing. So level scoop, just real easy. I'm making these a little bit bigger. You can make them, like I said, you can make them any size you wanted to. This turkey meat is pretty soft, so it's really kind of hard to get it to keep, you can't take it and round the balls out. So this just makes it fast, but they're all the same. And then once we get this done, we're going to pop them in the oven and bake them. But I'm going to make a little sauce for them. There we go. We'll just keep doing that. You wouldn't want to make them too big. You want to keep them more bite size, or you could use them for an hors d'oeuvre, put them in a chafing dish for the holiday time. But again, at this point, you can do these, bake them, put them in a Ziploc or a vacuum bag, put them in the freezer, so when you got need a quick party item for the fall or for a birthday or companies dropping over that you didn't know about, you can do this. Try to not get them in too tight, but tight enough. Okay. One more meatball there. Okay, we've got our meatballs all ready to go in the oven. So we're going to take this, and I've got a 400 degree preheated oven. So we're going to pop these in here and let those cook. They'll be in there, maybe 18 to 20 minutes. And then as soon as they get done, we'll plate some up and show you what they look like. Okay, while those meatballs are in the oven, we're going to put a little sauce together. And we've got a saucepan, and we've got some soy sauce again. And in the soy sauce, I mixed a little cornstarch, because that's going to thicken our sauce up. And this has Sriracha, sesame oil. And then we're going to put some fresh ginger in it, the soy sauce. Okay, put that in. And then we'll whisk that up again. Okay. And here's some rice vinegar, along with some brown sugar and Sriracha. Okay, so we've got that. And that also. The other thing we need is a little fresh ginger. You couldn't have an Asian dish without ginger. Now, ginger lesson. When you go to the store, you'll see this same thing, but there'll be lots of them together. So what you're looking at when they're locked together, that's called a hand of ginger. This is called a finger. So if you sort of get the idea and the relationship, finger of ginger, hand of ginger. If you're going to use this or chop it up, I'm going to use a microplane, so I'm not going to peel it. But if you were going to peel it, an easy way to peel it is not with a paring knife or a vegetable peeler. Just take a spoon and it'll scrape that skin right off. We'll actually do a little bit so you see that. Just take a teaspoon and you can see that skin coming right off. The one thing about fresh ginger, it will be hot. So, but it really makes the Asian cooking. Okay? So we've got some skin there. Now we're going to take a microplane. And there's different kinds of microplanes. I've got another one over here that's like this, hard grated cheese, or you could grate your nutmeg, or we can do the ginger. So we're going to grate this ginger and get that all in there. Okay. Take our spatula and get that in there. So now what we're going to do is take this over to the stove, and we're going to bring this up to a simmer. And just so it thickens up, that cornstarch, so as soon as it comes up to a boil, it'll thicken up, and then we're going to use this for sauce on our meatballs. All right, so this will just take a few minutes while our meatballs are cooking. Then we'll leave this here, and we'll come back and plate it up for you. See you in a minute. Okay, our time is up. Our meatballs will be coming out of the oven. And you can smell them there. Good stuff. Okay. One thing that I'm gonna do on here is these meatballs. I'm going to pour the sauce on them. I got the sauce already, and we've got a little charring like in here. So I want all that goodness. Okay, so we're putting the sauce on here, and so what I'm going to do is I'll get a little spatula, or I can use the one that I've got, and I want to get these up, and any of the juices that have come out of these meatballs, they've caramelized on the pan. I want to get those because there's a lot of good flavor in those. Toss those around, get them all coated. You can hear that sizzle a little bit in there. But get these meatballs all nice and coated. If you wanted to, you could make yourself a little stir fry, serve this over some vegetables, serve it with rice, put them in a chafing dish for an appetizer. Okay. Got to remember, it's hot, so. Put these in a dish. And like I said, you could do it with rice. You could use it vegetables. You could just eat them as they are. Okay. Yo. That is hot. Okay. Get them over here. Take a little more green onion over the top. A little garnish, and then we've got a few more sesame seeds to garnish this, just to make it look pretty. Grab a little piece of paper towel. Clean our dish up so it looks nice. And then we're going to go from my kitchen to yours.